New at 10, embattled Fort Bend County Judge K.P. George goes on the offensive.
He's making his most direct comments yet about his fake racism case in an open letter, calling the charges a, quote, political persecution and demanding the criminal court judge and prosecutor on the case step aside.
George, who is the head of Fort Bend County's government, has been under indictment since September. He's accused of working with his former chief of staff to post racist messages about himself under a false name and then sharing them on social media during his 2020 re-election campaign. ABC 13's Luke Jones is live with the judge's new comments and the reaction coming in tonight. Luke?
Yeah, so K.P. George's office says he's not available to speak to us tonight, but his possible opponent in next year's election is speaking out. He's one of those judges that K.P. George called out in this letter, the same judge who signed the warrant to search George's phone. The man accused of faking these racist Facebook messages, once again claiming discrimination. In a letter to Fort Bend County residents, Judge K.P. George writing, quote, I am entirely innocent of the politically motivated charges brought against me. If this can happen to me, then it can happen to anyone.
I found it to be ridiculous. I think it smacked of desperation.
Fort Bend County criminal judge Christian Becerra, who's running for George's job as county judge, addressing claims George made about him, that he had a conflict of interest when he signed a warrant to search George's phone because of his relationship with District Attorney Brian Middleton.
Brian Middleton and I went to law school together. We worked at the DA's office, but any mention that there's some type of collusion between us to go after one individual is absolutely ridiculous.
George also points to Becerra's campaign to replace him, but the warrant was signed in September, well before Becerra entered the race. In fact, he says he recused himself from the Thurlow Patel case involving George's former chief of staff in order to avoid a conflict of interest.
This is in the beginning of December. This is before I decided to run. This is when I considered running for the position.
George also claims the district attorney and presiding judge should recuse themselves. His reasoning? As county judge, he oversees the budgets for both their offices.
It's really not a legal conflict of interest.
Noted defense attorney Ken Schaefer, who's not affiliated with this case, says prosecutors investigate elected leaders all the time, even ones who control the purse strings. Elsewhere in his letter, George decries his treatment during the booking process, that jailers made him wear a jail uniform, released his mugshot, and called ICE to check his immigration status.
All these things that he doesn't like are things that happen to every single criminal defendant every day. But I understand that being an elected official, he figured somehow he'd be exempt from all that.
And the Fort Bend County Sheriff's Office says, just to be clear here, George was treated the same as anyone else being booked into jail. If you indicate you're not born in this country, they're going to call us to verify your immigration status. And those mugshots, they're public record and put on the jail roster, again, just the same as they do in every case. By the way, George has not yet indicated if he'll seek re-election in 2026. Reporting live tonight, Luke Jones, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.